Hello guys, this is DJs and welcome back to my channel. Today we're reviewing episode 4 of Doctor Who Series 12, and that is called Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. Last week at the end I got the video up and I just kind of felt disappointed with the episode as a whole. Watched it again on Monday. I really liked some elements of the episode, but I felt like some of the elements didn't work, but that was last week. But I did have this resounding disappointment and not really thinking, oh, next week's going to be splendid, because we had, two episodes that I thought were really good, which was Spyfall. Then we had this one, and then we've gone and had another good one. We had 3 episodes last year that weren't that, well, the other year that weren't that good. We had the Spider episode, the Pating episode, and the Demons in the Punjab episode. I know all the titles, I just don't say that because otherwise it's a lot longer, but trying to explain it, to be honest, does kind of draw out the time. Tesla, I think, does, the actor playing Tesla, I think, does a really, really good job. I'm glad that the plot revolves around him more than it revolves around the Doctor and what she's doing. It does feel like she's taken a bit of a back seat this episode, and she's not got too involved, but she's sort of involved, but not in the front seat. And we know that Tesla is the actual driving force of the episode, and it's all about him because it is his episode, and they're talking about his life and his inventions, and it's also partly Thomas Edison's episodes because they're talking about his life and his inventions. The villains for this episode I think were really, really good. I think that they look a lot like the Rachnos, which I think might bring up a bit of criticism. When I speak English, I shall continue this video. I think that the fact that they look a bit like the Rachnos is going to bring a lot of criticism. Oh, you're nicking this, It's a completely different creature. With that aspect, it just looks and sounds a lot like it. When Sarah Parish did that episode back in 2007, maybe even 2008. 2007. She was doing these twitches with her head, and she was doing this sort of, I think maybe they changed her voice a little bit, or maybe it was the teeth that she was wearing, and they've done the same thing to this actress as well. The makeup team have done a great job. Well, I suppose it's the makeup team that have done a great job of creating this character and how it works. I can't possibly imagine how they would have built the stuff that goes around her head, and some bits do seem to move and sort of light slightly. I'm pretty sure during moments of the episode I kind of see these things move on her chin. Maybe that was just my eyes. And then she has these kind of henchman characters as well, which I think are really cool. They give Yaz a brilliant running scene in which they run through the streets and these creatures follow them, which I think was a really cool way to include her in the episode, even though she hasn't got that much to do. Just to give her a moment to shine, I suppose. And I think these creatures are really cool. I think the CGI of them is a little bit messed up at times. I think that when you look at them occasionally, you kind of think, that face is just a bit off. But I suppose that making these things work is quite difficult. The bit when you see the face move, I know it's supposed to be disgusting, but it just looks silly. It's like somebody's got that liquify tool on Photoshop when you're in year 8, and they've got the eyes and they've just shoved them up. That's what it looks like. Speaking of companions, I think that they have also taken a bit of a backseat this episode. I think that they are used mostly as vessels to make Nikola Tesla more interesting. That they're speaking to him and oh yeah, he discovered this. I didn't know about that. Whether that is even true, I don't know, to be honest, because I don't understand history that well. So they're all taking a back seat, but I'm glad that you have a few moments when Yaz takes control and runs through that street. She gets that little kid out of the way and just seems to abandon him seconds later, and things like that. So you get these moments, but a lot of the time they are kind of always together, which is something that was always a big critique that I had of Series 11, and it was the same in this episode. In terms of additional characters, I think that the assistant of Nikola Tesla is kind of not really needed that much. She was kind of just to tag along because she was not involved in the plot, or she didn't have any romantic or friendship interest that we see on screen that really develops anything for the plot. So I suppose that cutting her might have been a decent idea, but I think that they like to have these sort of big ensembles in Doctor Who episodes in a minute, so there's nothing really wrong with it because it didn't detract from the episode itself, so who cares. So my final little nitpicks. So the first one is one that I mentioned kind of earlier, which is about how the CGI creatures look a little bit silly at times, and the way that they kind of crash into each other is not... It's like you're running away from a bunch of buffoons who just sort of hit each other for no reason. Like, they're supposed to look like ravenous creatures or whatever, but, you know, they're running like that, and then one of them will just do that for some reason. Those kind of moments that you think, that's a bit silly, that's not the best, like, terms of logic, but I suppose it doesn't detract anything from the story. And the other thing is, I feel like I keep calling him Thomas Edgerton. I don't know where I'm getting that from. Thomas Edison is portrayed in quite a mean way. He was also an inventor who created other things. Like, he directed Direct Current, but everyone seems to be kind of against him in the episode, which I thought was kind of weird. You know, he is also an inventor. He is creating Direct Current. I feel like there's a bit of like maybe a bit of a lie that's happening there, a very one-sided argument that they're given over that Tesla, you know, was this, that, the other, and whether those things are actually true, like the Wi-Fi thing. There's just a lot of things that I just feel like one man could not invent all of these things. I don't know, maybe I am wrong. Like I said, that is a complete and utter nitpick that shouldn't be taken that seriously at the end of the day, but I'm just wondering if you agreed with me or not. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you're new. I've been rather busy this weekend, so that's why my review for this episode is late. I actually missed Doctor Who coming out live because I was at the cinema and I was watching Jojo Rabbit. For some reason, the times for showing this thing is on like 9:15 at night every single night, and it ends on Thursday for some reason. So tonight would have been the only night I could have gone. So tonight I went, watched it, and I shall do a review of it because Taika Waititi is one of my favourite directors, so I think I might need to talk about it. Oh yeah, Jaduna back next week, so why don't you check out my What We Know So Far video when it comes out during the week. I think it's like Thursday that I bring them out now. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give a like, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.